Hello and welcome to English channel. Today we are going to learn about 100 most important facts about America. When we talk about America, we mean USA. Uh, I have tried to compile a list of 100 most important facts and let's begin them one by one. The first fact is there are 100 acres of pizza served in the United States every day, which means Americans love pizza so much that they eat it like equal to the amount of or the quality of 100 acres, okay? 100 acres of land. So equal to that, they eat pizza. The second most interesting fact is America's capital was originally not Washington. Right now it is Washington DC, but in the days gone by, it was New York City, right? And did you know that United States uses 18% of the world's energy? The world is feeling really deficient of energy, but it is also a fact that America uses it because it is an industrially and militarily industrialized country and uses a lot of energy for input of production, right? And another interesting fact is there is no official language in America. American country does not have any official language. English is the most spoken language. After that, Spanish is the most spoken language in America. Then another interesting fact is United States invented the internet. Internet that we love using, that every modern person loves to use, was invented by America. America also has the biggest economy in the world. Okay, it's not a surprise that America rules the world, and it is unparalleled, superior country in the world because of its economy. Another interesting fact about America is the US is the fourth largest country in the world by land area. So it's not a small country. If it's superpower militarily, financially, economically, elsewhere, its area is also big. So fourth largest country by area, right? Another interesting fact is the US is the third largest country by population. So not only is it a fact that it has big land, big area, but also big population. Its population is not small. Americans are relentlessly friendly, means they always talk in a friendly manner, extremely friendly people. No wonder they have ruled the world. Speaking of tips, Americans give them out generously. When they do hoteling, people go to hotels and they enjoy the cuisines. They pay 15 to 20% tip because the wages are low in America. Montana has three times as many cows as it does people. So there are so many cows in Montana, a state in America, that these cows outnumber the human beings. So really a lot of export of cattle. Do you know America is named after Amerigo Vespucci, the Italian explorer? He was the person who came to America, and America is named after him. Another interesting fact about America is American football is the most popular sport to watch in the United States, followed by baseball, basketball, and ice hockey. So, American football is the most popular sport in America. Do you know that the tallest mountain in the world is actually located in the United States? It's actually taller than Mount Everest, more than twice Mount Everest's base to peak height. When measured from the seafloor, it's called Mauna Kea and it's located in Hawaii, right? Pentagon, where American Defense highest office is located, it's the largest office building in the world by area. The largest office building in the world by area is Pentagon. It has five angles, right? With 17 miles of corridors. Such a big building, huge building actually. Harvard was the first university in the United States. Harvard University was the first and was founded in 1636. Manhattan's Chinatown has the most Chinese residents in the Western Hemisphere. So, no surprise, Chinatown because of the Chinese people living in America. The United States debt per person is $54,000. America is the most indebted country in the world, right? So, America never ceases to surprise us by its unique facts and interesting phenomena. The United States is the first fattest country in the world, and with 33% of population being obese. Obese means fat, and 66% considered to be overweight. So the most fattest people in the world are Americans. They are not only obese but also overweight. The American urine is the costliest urine in the world because they eat a lot of multivitamins. And when you drink water soluble multivitamins, you pee a lot. So the urine becomes yellow colored because of that presence of multivitamins. So they have the costliest urine because those vitamins get lost in urine. Americans consume about 3 billion pizzas in total per year. 3 billion pizzas. Wow, that is some amount. GPS or Global Positioning System is controlled and owned by none other than American government, and it can be switched off at any time. So whenever you move in your car, if you are anywhere in the world, you use Global Positioning System (GPS) that is held and owned by America, and it can control it at their will. So there are you might be observing that there are so many firsts and unique factors about America that we are not surprised that it is the number one country in the most powerful and heavily industrialized and militarized and economically advanced country, right? Many more interesting facts are yet to come about America. Freedom of speech and freedom of expression and freedom of press, they are the hallmarks of America. That is why it is also called land of free people. Just like Thailand, which is also called land of free people, America is also called land of free people. The current flag of USA was designed by a 16-year-old student, right? He was just a college student. NASA is exploring space, and it is also called North Atlantic Space Authority, and that is owned by none other than America. Americans have won the most Olympic medals of all times. Nobody have no other country has done this feat of big magnitude. Americans can travel the world quite freely, and they can pride themselves with the fact that they have one of the world's best passports. So, if you want to know which passport is the most impact making passport in the world, that is America's, right? More interesting facts about America to come. The US purchased Alaska from Russia for just $7.2 million in 1867. So, Alaska was not a part of America right from the day one. They had bought it from Russia. Actually, Russia lies very close to America. They have a distance of only a few kilometers. Next interesting fact about America is that 27% of their population believes that the moon landing was fake. Such a big percentage of people do not believe in their own government or the figures of their government. There is a disbelief found in the people that they do not trust their government and they believe that it was fake. So American governments may not be telling the truths to their people. Christmas was illegal in the USA until 1836 as it was considered an ancient pagan holiday. So something that was once upon a time illegal has become so much celebrated and cherished by Americans. An average American eats 35 tons of food in a lifetime. Such a big amount of food. And this particular interesting fact also matches with the fact that Americans are really obese and overweight. 60% of Americans order takeout or delivery food at least once a week. So they really do dine out a lot. Much more to come about America. Let us know another interesting fact. The national animal of the US is bald eagle, right? A hairless eagle. By the way, I would like to add something here that an eagle, whenever it loses wings or some feathers of its any of its side, it intentionally removes the feather on its other side just to maintain its body's balance. The United States of America consists of 50 states. That's why there are 50 stars on the flag of America. Biggest lake is Lake Superior. It is really superior because of its quality of water and the quality of location and the amount of visitors that visit it per annum. The US developed the first nuclear weapons, using them on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki near the end of the World War II. So, America is the first country to use atom bombs, right? Another interesting fact, Hawaii is the most recent of the 50 states in the US. It joined America in 1959 and it is the only one made up entirely of islands. So, a country that consists of islands and many of them is called archipelago. So, Hawaii is a state of America that is an archipelago, right? And it contains many islands. Just like that, Indonesia also has many islands, thousands of them. English is the most commonly spoken language in the US, followed by Spanish. So, although there is no official language in America, but English is the most spoken one, right? Next interesting fact about America is the first man to walk on the moon was American Neil Armstrong. He did this feat in 1969 on July 21. Another interesting fact, do you know that the US consumes more petroleum than any other country in the world? No wonder, because it does the most development, it does the most progress, it produces the most than any other country. And New York was once called New Amsterdam. The name was changed later on. America, whose great leader was Martin Luther King. Let's talk about another interesting fact. The Golden Gate Bridge never stops getting a makeover. So it is all the time, undergoing the process of being being embellished, being decorated. Do you know that there are 43 giant presidential heads in America? And they are effigies. The US has the longest cave system in the world. It has so many caves, countless of them. Hawaii is the only archipelago state, which means it contains islands, right? Do you know that the United States of America is also called the States, the United States, the USA, and America? All the names refer to the one and the same America, USA, right? Another interesting fact is in 1783, the United States became the first country to gain independence from a European power. So, European power gave freedom before any other country. They freed America. Did you know that the United States has the world's largest coal reserves? So, a lot of energy input is held by America. It is rarely used, mostly imported because they want to keep it reserved for hard times, for rainy days. More interesting facts to come about America. Another one is the United States experiences the highest rate of tornadoes of any country in the world. So they face so many storms and hurricanes. Still, they remain the superpower, which everybody loves and likes. On an average, the country deals with more than 1,000 tornadoes every year, which means almost 3 tornadoes daily. Wow, what a strong nation they are. The United States of America also has the world's largest air force. It was founded on September 18, 1947. The United States Air Force, with more than 5,369 military aircraft, is the most technologically advanced air force in the world. Wow, that's really awesome. Do you know Mount Rushmore monument in the United States shows the heads of the 4 former presidents of the United States? So this monument carries 4 heads or 4 effigies. The United States also is more than twice the size of the European Union. Like EU is such big area, but United States even more than twice of that. So really big land. Do you know that in 2008, Barack Obama became the first black president of the United States? There was a time when the white used to rule. They were the salt of the earth in America. And the blacks did not have a place to escape themselves. And then a person stood up. His name was Martin Luther King the Jr. And he said, I have a dream. And his dream was later rationalized and envisioned and achieved. And there came a day when a child was born in America and he dreamt to become the president, and he was black. Still, he became the president twice. And the next interesting fact about America is the US is the world's largest consumer of cocaine, which is allegedly shipped from Colombia. It is famously said that drugs and crime go side by side. So there is a lot of crime in America, a lot of drugs. And about New York, there is a famous quotation. There is a proverb that a person is not a New Yorker who has not been robbed once. So America is really drugged country in the world. Not a big reason to happy. So George Washington was the first president of the United States. So after whose name is the capital of America, Washington D.C. Four of the 45 presidents of the United States have been assassinated in office in America. So one of the hardest jobs to do in America is to become a president, because out of the 45 presidents that have been elected so far, four have been killed. So really hard job to do in America. Maybe because of the extensive use of drugs and high employment and high unemployment and high poverty. More interesting facts to come about America. The United States is the first country to have developed nuclear weapons and the only country to have used them in combat. And if you have forgotten, I'll remind you that America used Little Boy and Fat Boy, the two atomic bombs, and they threw it upon Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. And Japan is one of the top powers in the world right now, even after being hit by American atom bombs in 1945. Another interesting fact about America is after Christianity and Judaism, Islam is the third largest religion in number in the US. So Islam is really spreading fast and quickly. And did you know that Nelson Mandela was on US terror watch list until 2008, when they realized that he was really a great leader and he was fighting for the cause of humanity and for human beings of South Africa. Another interesting fact, did you know that a US company is trying to build a human colony on Mars? Yes, that's true. It takes about 7 months to get to Mars from the Earth. And Musk and SpaceX have proposed the development of Mars transportation infrastructure in order to facilitate the eventual colonization of Mars. So, wherever Americans go, they try to colonize the place. So, if today we discovered oil in Australia, they would be talking about bringing democracy in Australia or anywhere else. So first of all, they would propose the targeted country for trade, and then they would try to dig the oil in the garb of democratizing them. The deadliest job in the country is to become president. As I told you earlier, four presidents were killed in America. So really, crime rate is high and death rate for presidents is really extremely high. The average American throws away 4.4 pounds of trash daily. So just above 2 kg of trash is thrown by a single American every day. So they really pollute the entire universe. And then Donald Trump claims that America has nothing to do with the global warming. And did you know that the tallest president was Abraham Lincoln? Right? Lincoln created the Secret Service the day of his assassination. He was killed later on, and the Secret Service is also supposed to protect the country and the dignitaries and the towering personalities. He was a tall person, and the Secret Service could not save him, even though he had just inaugurated it. The first face of the $1 bill wasn't Washington, right? So there were some other people. There was some other person whose face used to appear on $1 bill before Washington D.C. Uncle Sam was a real dude. Samuel Wilson was a real person, and his short name is Sam, right? And most Americans spend less than 5 years at each job. They really want to quickly move out, and they want to switch jobs very pretty quickly. More slides to come. Do you know that more people live in New York City than in most states? So New York City is the most populated city in entire America out of 50 states. Oregon is the fastest speaking state. So people of Oregon speak really fast. Only two states don't practice daylight savings time. So Americans really consider that time is money and time is really worthy to be saved. They want to work more in daylight, so they have changed the hours on the clock, and only two states do not follow this practice. Boston is home to country's worst drivers. So if you really want to visit America, please don't drive in Boston. You might get bumped. There is an actual town with just one person in America, and the state works and comes to action for service delivery of that one single person who is an old lady who is aging right now about 100, and Kansas could single-handedly feed the world for 2 weeks because of the presence of corn, right? It produces in such a plenty of amount that it can feed the world for 2 weeks. In Alabama, which is an American state, unclaimed baggage from airlines gets sold. Usually it's not sold, but in Alabama state, when people do not claim their baggage, that baggage is later on sold to the people at a lower cost. So if you want some discount, just go to the airport, please. Americans are a generous bunch. They are generous people. They generously try to help others. They are large hearted. They're great people. They're a great nation. They're a great power. The US has the fourth longest river system in the world. And Pakistan is the number one canal system in the world, right? Las Vegas is the gambling capital of the world. Las Vegas is also called City of Sin because of the casinos and balls and ballrooms and the gambling sites where people spend sleepless night and they do gambling and drinking wine and all kinds of sins are done there. Do you know that the Statue of Liberty was a gift? It was gifted by France to America. So liberty enlightening the world was a gift from France. This gift was sent to celebrate 100 years of Franco-American friendship. Did you know that the word Pennsylvania is spelled wrong on the Liberty Bell? Yeah, but that is done on purpose because in those days spellings were different. More American facts to come. The Wright brothers never went to college. More people have got money who never went to college. One of them was Bill Gates. So they never went to college, but they were so enlightened, they were so bright minds that they were able to make aircrafts. So it also proves that you need not have proper degrees to do some great wonders. You can do it even if you are totally uneducated. The US is the third most visited country. It is also called land of immigrants, land of opportunities, and it's the most visited country, third most visited country in the world. World's largest polluter is also America because, as we mentioned before, that on an average 4.4 pounds are thrown as waste by Americans. So they really create a lot of pollution. Credit also goes to them for bringing in global warming, which Donald Trump refuses to admit. I think it is about the time that he admitted the fact. The birthplace of fast food and obesity is also America. They have a lot of production of food. They also eat it a lot. They are overweight. They are obese. They need to cut short on the food. Probably they need to serve some food to their poor countries, like which have also been occupied. Like Israel has occupied Palestine. India has occupied Kashmir. That extra food that they eat need to be served to them. You can dig for your own diamonds as well. So you can dig for your own diamonds. in America. They allow you. You can't drink until you are 21 in America. So they have got some reasonable restrictions. The US spans 21 time zones. A big country, one of the four top big countries, and it has big land, so it also spans 21 time zones. The highest number of prisoners are also in America because of the increased crime rate, increased unemployment, increased poverty, illiteracy. Another interesting fact about America: 1 in 8 people in the United States has been employed by McDonald's. McDonald's has really ruled the roost. They have got their roots everywhere in the world and the most in America. So I just wonder, if McDonald's did not exist, where would Americans get their employment from? In the US, about 40% of babies are born to unmarried women, so they have love children. So most loved children, love child, are found in America. Do you know that it's legal for children to smoke, but it's not legal for children to drink wine in America? Most presidents were born in Virginia. That is also an interesting fact. If you have a $10 bill and no debt, you are wealthier than 15% of all American citizens. It means that 15% of American citizens are poor and they cannot afford to have $10 bill. Another interesting fact: there are around 5,000 commercial airplanes flying over the United States at any given time. So they have got extreme air activity, air traffic. Constantly planes are taking off, they are landing, and there is frequent flying going on in America. There are many people who live in Hawaii that refuse to be US citizens. They believe that the USA is occupying their country and that Hawaii is actually the property of Hawaiian Kingdom, not the USA. So America, even being so much powerful, militarily strong, and economically advanced, it cannot help becoming part of controversies. And another interesting fact about America: the US has a law that allows citizens to occupy any unclaimed island in the world as long as there is seabird or bat poop on it. So really funny. Atheists in the USA have disapproval rates higher than those of Muslims and homosexuals. So, terrorism is not really all for Muslims, but atheists are also disliked a lot in America. The award winning Aussie shampoo, whose brand logo is a kangaroo, is sold in Europe, Britain, and USA, but not Australia. So, another interesting fact is that USA uses carbon monoxide to make meat appear fresher. This practice is banned in Canada, Japan, Singapore, and the European Union. So America also does some illegal things. On 8th January 1836, that was the last day in history that the USA had no national debt. And since then, America has been the most indebted country in the world. It's the largest indebted to China. So no wonder that America is getting some stiff competition in the hands of China of becoming superpower. Let's see who succeeds. Right now it seems that America is going to rule the roost. The next interesting fact is nearly 80% of people who die from drowning in the USA are males. So maybe a lot of males do the swimming and women's do not. And let's hear with you some more interesting facts. Russia and USA are only 3.8 kilometers apart at the nearest point. Wow, quite interesting. Sliced bread was briefly banned in the USA in 1943 as a wartime conservation measure because American army needed bread for their soldiers. So it was really wartime necessity to do that. Uh, at the end of the lecture, I would like to request you, if you really like these interesting facts, if you like the video, if you liked its quality, please subscribe the channel, press the bell icon so that you can regularly get the latest updates, and keep watching this channel to see more important stuff, interesting stuff about America and elsewhere in the world. Thank you.